Hey guys, this is Angel and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a new aircraft, the first airliner to hit 2020, or one of the first, the Bredok3D MAX. Never heard of the developer before, and there are mixed reviews out there already for this aircraft. However, I wanted to take a look myself, not being an airliner fan, and see what I think of this and show you guys what my opinions are, because it's going to be interesting. Let's take a look, shall we? Well, that's a good start. We're already beeping. So, exterior modelling. This is the 737 MAX, which of course is the fourth generation of Boeing 737 narrowbody. And it is, of course, a little bit infamous after a couple of crasharoonies, which grounded the entire fleet. So it's a good start. Now, it only comes with one livery, the Boeing livery, which I'd expect more. It costs €22 on Sim Market, so about £20, $25 or so. And you only get this one version, just the factory livery. Now I'm sure there'll be probably aftermarket liveries coming from the community pretty quickly, but exterior modelling wise, looks decent. Looks shorter than I remember, but looks decent. Let's take a look inside. So of course we're cold and dark right now in the cockpit, and I can already tell you the screens look a little bit wide, but that could just be perspective. Compared to the real one, they seem to be about right. It does, I believe, use the default 787 MFDs, but interior modelling is... it's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. The poly count's a little bit on the lower side, which I'm not expecting. We've gone beyond this standard with FSX already, so it's kind of where I'll call it could be better, perhaps. No clickable, openable window, so the eye candy level is... yeah. We'll go with yeah. Let's see how she starts up. Now, I'm going to use the actual in-game systems here for this, to be able to do this, because I'm not an airliner person, so I will just use the manual which comes with it, which takes you through the FMC, takes you through the startups of the engines, and hopefully we'll get us in here nice and easy. So, let's look at our batteries here. I believe this is our master battery. Battery's on. So we need to turn our master battery 2, which is hidden somewhere around here. It doesn't exactly tell me where. I know it needs to external power on as well. Fuel pumps all need to be on. That's a good start. Oh no, they're on now. Okay, pumps are all on. That's all good to go. Master battery 2 should be up here. It doesn't want to go on. That's a good start. Okay, cool. So the master battery 2 doesn't want to just switch on, which is interesting. So fuel pumps are all on. We'll go to external power, which should be up here on one of these. External power says is above our panel here, so that's the one there. External power is on. APU generators are going to be set to... See, this is what I'm having a problem with right now, because it's not letting me click these areas. It shows me they're on this panel. Okay, those are set to on. It's like they click one way, then they don't seem to stay there like you actually had a positive click, which is interesting. So we'll get the engine going there. So we need to set engine mode to normal, which is here. That's the wipers, apparently. Engine mode selected to normal. Hydrostatic generators will be up here. Those are not. That's that other panel. It's a good start. Okay, hydrostatic generators. All generators set to on. Turn on generators 2. We already did that one. APU bleed will be over here. APU bleed. I'll set the rest of them on. Close enough. Whatever. Alright, turn APU on and wait 30 seconds. I do love the hovering of switches in Flight Sim. Now, do we have any views that make this life easier? No, we don't. That would be something you'd like to probably include in the aircraft as a panel view. Especially when things are really annoying with the angle. So our APU should be coming online now. Or so it claims. There we go. I can hear it starting to spin up now. APU available should be in the green. And then it'll be a matter of setting our fuel to run. Which should be down here. Wherever it decides it wants to hide those notches. There we go. Set to run. APU is coming online now for us. APU is available to green. So we'll kick the engines in. And wait for our engines to come up. They're starting to come up for us now. And we should be good to go. Probably going to want to shut the APU off after that one. But so far, startup hasn't been terrible. Looking for our N1 to reach 25 N1 to 1%. So we're looking nearly there right now. I wanted it set to ignition. Yeah, ignition start. There we go. And that should allow the engines to spool up for us normally. Exactly. So it's not a 100% full. The button clicking feels weird. I don't like how that is in the aircraft. It doesn't feel very positive. Maybe they are toggle. You click them down, they click back up again. Switches in the real aircraft. Someone can correct me on that one. But again, not being an airliner jock, this is not my specialty. I'm just showing you the functionality. You can make your own opinions from that. We appear to be good to go on our engines. I do believe I have to shut the APU down. I want that on. Okay, no, it's set to available. Don't think there's a way to turn it off. No, to normal. We'll set them to normal. Okie dokie, we're good there. So, probably should turn the APU off if I know what that is. We'll close the guard on that. Generators are all good and online. Our avionics are on. So, we're going to taxi the aircraft out. We're going to take a look at the flight dynamics. Because, again, we've had reports it's a little bit twitchy and can be a little bit quirky on the aircraft. So, we'll see how she behaves. We're out here at Edwards because it gives us a lot of space. Which is ideal. Let's rock and roll. As I drop everything off my desk. There we go. Parking brake is off. We'll start the aircraft taxiing. We should probably push back. Again, I'm not an airliner person, so the whole pushback gig is new to me. But we should be... We'll just taxi over all these ground service vehicles. It's absolutely fine. The default pushback will take forever anyway. We'll pretend they're not here. So we're going to taxi out to the runway here at Edwards, and we're going to take a short flight to really check out the performance. Edwards is an area where I typically will get 70 odd FPS. 25 here, so not fantastic. Would be my educated opinion in this case. Right, knock the throttle back down again here. Of course, we have got the heads-up display here for the aircraft, which is very pale. So that's unusual. There may somewhere be a toggle for its brightness. That is not something I know to find. Or where that would be located, but for now it's irrelevant to our little adventure. Flip our lights all to on. Those are our runway lights, landing lights. Probably want those on. Whilst we taxi gently down to the runway, we'll have a quick fiddle around here. But again, the lack of angles for the panel is inhibiting. I find it a little irritating when it comes to trying to find things. So we have got an iPad on here, but it appears to be set to just showing rudder trim, which is unusual. None of the buttons here appear to do anything, so that's different. Flood map brightness, okay, we've got those. Yoke visibility's there. Come on, taxi forward a little bit faster. Give me a bit of motion. Floodlights. Oh, apparently you need a lot of power to move an airliner. Who knew this, right? One of those things. So those are all attached to yoke visibility. Nothing there will set what I was looking for, so we're fine. So we have our runway entrance here. We'll set our flaps for takeoff. And we should be good to go. This is just on the hold short taxiways. We'll just flip it around here. Or disused taxiway, I should say. But it will be enough for our requirements. Find the seat a little bit high up, but that's not terrible. Lowering the seat might actually make panel visibility a bit easier. Get ourselves turned around here. There we go. Edwards is a great test bed for this sort of thing. Okay. So, actually, where's our camera options? Can we drop the seat down a little bit? Where are we? Pilot. It's just our zoom level. We'll leave that for now. Not worth messing with. Okay, brakes are on. Coming to full power. Engines are ramping up. HUD is still incredibly pale. And brakes are released. Aircraft rolling. Let's see how she behaves here. 40 knots, 50 knots. Keep the aircraft straight on the center line. Passing through 75, 80, 90 knots, 90, 100 knots, 110, 120, 130. We're looking for 150. And she starts to climb off the runway. Positive rate, gear up. Retract flaps. So the aircraft climbed automatically there. It seemed to lift itself away from the runway once it reached speed. So there's a bit of positive trim there, or negative weight in terms of its central gravity. Let's watch our throttle here. We're not going too high altitude. So how does she handle? Feels quite light, really, for its size. The aircraft definitely responds well, but I think that's a little too responsive compared to the two default aircraft in the sim. Of course, one being a 7.4 with 4 engines, one being an A320, but the aircraft is very nimble. Feels a little fighter jetty almost. If this is similar to what you expect from a 737 MAX, as we can see the HUD there being a little bit more effective. Now again, there may be a brightness setting I can find for that, but not one I've located so far in my brief first look here on the aircraft. It's not terrible, but it's not great, is where we're going to go with this one, as we are maneuvering around. So I'm going to get her heading for a return landing to Edwards, and we'll be back in a second. So we're on approach here to Edwards, and I'm going to try and bleed a little speed off here. We're at 186 knots. And we're coming in for the short of the two runways here. So gear is down and locked. We're deploying flaps. I need to put a little bit of spoilers out so we can dump some altitude here. Oh, hello. There we go. Lost a bit of heading there. Kind of drop the nose down so we can just bring this in. The HUD visibility, I've been searching around the cockpit. I can't find anything to improve that. It is incredibly dim, which appears to just be a general flight sim issue. So speed's remaining a little constant here until we pull our nose up from this descent. But right now we're looking okay for our final approach. Just giving us our altitude there, so we'll give it a bit more speed brake actually. Help us bring the nose down along with the altitude. This could be a hecker of a landing, but we'll do our best. Again, not an airliner jockey, so this is definitely not my ballpark. Now, the aircraft is incredibly nimble and responsive. I tried some high G turns. It didn't really want to stall. It didn't want to drop a wing. Let's reduce that now. Okay. Flaps deploying to full for landing. Keep our heading good here. A little bit off the side. Let's do a little bit of a Gimli glider there and slip this baby sideways. And now we're definitely coming in fast. Speed brakes. This is a idiot GA pilot lands an airliner moment. As our speed is bleeding, we definitely want that back out. Let's try and not go crazy here. Oh, this is a horrible scuffed approach. Becoming my specialty for these reviews, isn't it? Pull the nose up. We're recovering it. We're cleaning it up. Hold the nose. Ryanair touchdown. There we go. Right, reverses. And toe brakes. And the aircraft will come to a halt on the runway. So not a little too recoverable. I shouldn't have been able to make such a clean landing from such a terrible approach, honestly. Overall, the handlings felt quite spritey. Very excitable, very maneuverable. You can definitely push it outside of a comfortable envelope with this aircraft, and I don't know whether that's accurate. Now, the textures and playability of the aircraft for its price, and the fact it's not a systems-intensive aircraft, we don't have access to all the systems up there. Most stuff doesn't work. Considering it's got the complexity of the default aircraft, or slightly less, you would believe that it would give you play features like the windows, like maybe passenger views, an iPad with a couple more functions, maybe some extras you can turn on and off for service vehicles. You'd think there'd be more of a rounded package for the price. It's not terrible, and if you want an easy-to-fly airliner with only one livery, it's not bad, but it's not great. I can't recommend it or say it's bad, not being an airliner person, but I can pick on the negatives I, as a experienced simmer and developer, could tell you. In the playability for price and functionality, if this was study level, I could imagine it not having very many play features, but for its price and it's not being study level, I would expect it to have a couple more features. Texture quality is lacking, in my opinion. It could do a bit more high detail, more high resolution. The modelling is a little chunky in places on parts, but not terrible. And the systems are largely default. So if you're looking for a study level aircraft, I mean, it's not that. Now, you do have a functioning FMS system down here. Does work. You've got all your settings. It can calculate takeoff weights and speeds, etc. But it's not ideal. So, of course, we have all our data we can plug into the weight and run the grass. Because this kind of feels like it belongs here, on the grass. What do I think of the Bredok3D MAX? Sure. A serious airliner fan won't like it. A casual may like it. And to be honest, right now, it's the only 737 we've got, so until someone better comes out with one. Thanks for watching. Bye.